Did you know that a glass of red wine a day can keep the cancer away? Well, it's actually more like 186 glasses a day, but you're going to want to hear about this. There's a chemical found in red wine called resveratrol that's been shown over and over again to kill cancer cells and help prevent cancer formation in mice. Resveratrol does this by turning on and off certain proteins within the cells of your body. These proteins can either protect you from or make you more susceptible to cancer when they're allowed to wander around your cells in their active forms. The following video will explain how this process works in your cells.
First, let me introduce the characters of our video. This is our damsel who is sometimes in distress, Cert1. She is a protein that does some really good things for your cells when she's allowed to be active, such as locking up our evil sidekick protein Survivin, who you will meet in a few seconds, and keeping her protein dog AmpK free and active. Now here is our damsel's dog, AmpK. He is her trusty sidekick and is only active when she is active. AmpK is very protective, and when someone like Cancer, our villain, shows up, he kills it right away so that Cancer can't hurt his owner or the cell that they live in. Here is the evil sidekick protein Survivin. When he shows up in the cell, our damsel and her dog are in trouble. Survivin first locks up Cert1, making her a damsel in distress. Once she is locked up in her jail cell, the evil villain can then lock up her dog AmpK. With the damsel and her dog locked away, there is no one left to kill Cancer when he shows up in the cell. This is our villain, Cancer. He shows up in the cell, and with no one left to kill him, he is allowed to grow and take over the cell. His growth is accelerated with the help of his evil sidekick Survivin feeding him cheeseburgers. Lastly, meet our superhero, Resveratrol. He lives in a glass of wine, but comes to the rescue when he hears cries of distress from the locked-up damsel and saves the day. The damsel Cert1 and her dog AmpK just wander around and play all day. When a small cancer villain tries to come and take over their cell, the loyal dog shoots and kills it so that it can't cause the mayhem that it would if it was allowed to grow. But when the evil sidekick Survivin shows up in the cell, everyone's in trouble. First, he kidnaps and locks the damsel up in a jail cell. Once Cert1 is locked away, her dog AmpK is no longer active, and the evil sidekick easily grabs him and locks him up in another jail cell. With no one free to kill little Cancer when he invades the cell, he is allowed to stay and take over. He grows with the help of his evil sidekick. Survivin feeds Cancer cheeseburgers or any other food that causes cancer cells to form and grow. Eventually, the full-grown villain takes over the cell, and the damsel in distress screams for help. The superhero Resveratrol cries and comes to the rescue in his glass of wine. He frees Cert1 and then helps her to lock up the evil sidekick Survivin so that he can no longer help to keep Cancer alive. Once Survivin is locked up, Resveratrol's job is done and he flies away. Cert1 is free to go and release her trusty companion, AmpK. Once Cert1 and AmpK are free and Survivin is locked away, our villain Cancer is in trouble. AmpK grabs his gun and shoots and kills Cancer so that the cell they live in can be free and healthy again, and Cert1 and her dog, AmpK, live happily ever after.
So why am I telling you about resveratrol if it would take 186 glasses of red wine a day in order to have enough of it to cause these anti-cancer effects in your cells? You would most definitely develop some kind of alcohol-related disease before the resveratrol would even be able to protect you from the cancer. Well, scientists have seen how these proteins in your cells that I've told you about, as well as many others, have these promising anti-cancer abilities when they're exposed to resveratrol. They are currently working on developing medications that concentrate the amount of resveratrol that would actually help to fight cancer into a single pill that cancer patients can take daily in order to kill the cancer cells within them and hopefully cure them. This treatment is well on its way to becoming an actual cure for cancer within the near future, and it's something that everyone should know about. So keep drinking your glass of red wine every day, and I wish you all long, healthy, cancer-free lives.